This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Have you ever wondered what actually happened to compact cameras? Well, in the late 80s and early 90s, the first true digital cameras appeared, with developments in CCD sensor technology, which enabled us to capture and store our images digitally for the first time. It was only a matter of time before these cameras became much smaller and the image quality became much better. Likely you've opened a kitchen drawer in the past and found one or two of these older compact cameras. These cameras were my childhood for photography and video. These and the old Logitech webcam. Shout out MSN. – 2007 brought with it three iconic moments: Prince at the Super Bowl, Tobey Maguire dancing in Spider-Man 3, and this.
iPhone. On the back, the biggest thing of note is we got a 2-megapixel camera built right in. We also have the coolest photo management app ever.
The iPhone and other smartphone competitors brought with them a new wave of mobile phone photography.
That's a serious package, folks. That is a serious package.
Phone cameras finally took a leap beyond the VGA quality and finally had a place to easily share images with friends. Between 2010 and 2023, this rise in smartphone photography led to a 94% decrease in overall camera shipments. Just look at this graph. Sorry, not giraffe, I meant graph. Falling from a high of 121 million cameras sold in 1 year to only 15 million sold. This was mainly driven by a significant drop in sales for cameras with built-in lenses, much like this Canon IXA 70, which incidentally was released the same year as the first-gen iPhone. These cameras were the no-brainer for the non-enthusiast, the casual shooter who just wanted to document family events, photos of their dog, or take, one of those old MySpace selfies. Forget social media. You want to know the best place to share your photography? The sponsor of this video, Squarespace. As you probably know, I've been using Squarespace long before they sponsored the channel. I use Squarespace to run my store and publish my free monthly newsletter using their email campaign tools. Updating my street photography portfolio using their image galleries could not be easier, and it is the perfect way to showcase your photography outside of the usual scroll of social media. Their easy to use templates and drag and drop design tools mean you can create a professional website with no prior web design skills. So why not get started at squarespace.com with a free trial? And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/GeorgeHolden to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. The high quality alternative to compact cameras and then smartphones had always been the DSLR, with larger bodies for housing the larger APS and full frame size sensors. The DSLR had always been the go-to for the enthusiast, the prosumer, and the professional, but this wouldn't be the case for long. With the popularity of smartphones and the previous capability of compact cameras, why should DSLRs still be using these large pentaprisms which required bulky and heavy housing? This is where DSLRs slowly became obsolete and were replaced by mirrorless cameras, which can be as small as this Lumix GM1 with its 4/3 sensor, which can take interchangeable lenses from Lumix, Olympus, and Leica. Not just with these relatively small 4/3 sensors though, it wouldn't take long for Sony to enter the game and create the first full-frame mirrorless camera. And these cameras have become increasingly powerful and getting much smaller as time has gone on. So with the ability to fit the previously professional level of technology into a camera the size of a compact camera, why bother with compact cameras at all? For regular everyday people, the smartphone camera experience is more than enough. And then for the enthusiasts and professionals, an interchangeable lens camera is surely good enough. There are still a few things that new compact cameras can do which smartphones can't do, like have a pop-up EVF for viewing your photos without the LCD screen, or having a built-in ND filter to help reduce exposure while keeping shutter speed low. Most compact cameras also offer a fixed optical zoom that allow you to go from a relatively wide focal length to a telephoto using only the camera's lens without digital zoom. Whereas on most phones, we have the option to change between a few different prime lenses, but then most of the zoom is all done digitally. All of this combined with full manual controls for aperture, shutter speed, and ISO make them the better choice for photographers who want to go beyond the smartphone experience. Of course, some smartphones like the Sony Xperia line are becoming more and more like compact cameras, essentially being a Sony camera inside of a smartphone. With most compact cameras, we have proper RAW files, like you would get in a DSLR or a mirrorless camera. This means you can take it into your RAW editor and have much more flexibility with your images. And if you want some help with editing your RAW images, go check out my Kodak film stock presets, my Fujifilm film stock presets, and my Naturally Filmic presets. You can save by getting all 3 of these packs together in the 3-pack bundle, and then viewers of this video can use this unique code at checkout to save a further 20% off anything on my store. These are some of the best film simulation presets you can buy, and I use them on 100% of the images that you see me share online. So I'll drop a link in the description below this video. With this significant hit to overall camera sales from smartphones, all camera brands have had to find a way to pivot to make up for this lack in sales. The truth is that not everyone needs a prosumer or professional grade camera, and with camera makers becoming more nervous that once everyone has changed from DSLR to mirrorless cameras, there's a likelihood that the overall market might shrink. With the shrink in casual photography cameras, there instead emerges an entire new industry: the creator industry. This is part of the incentive to include high-end video features even in more affordable, smaller mirrorless cameras, which is another way for brands to differentiate their cameras from the capabilities of a smartphone. There is the opportunity for cameras and smartphones to work together in unity, but until not long ago, this process was a headache and a half, but more recently, this process has been improved. Why does this never work? Why can't they just fix this? We've all used the dodgy smartphone apps for different brands in the past that struggle to import images and struggle to do the remote shooting thing, but they have gotten better. Most notably, the one that I have used that has impressed me is the Lumix Lab app, which is now available on more of their cameras, but originally was launched on the S9. And this sort of functionality would be amazing to see on new compact cameras and pretty much any camera that's released now. Having the ability to edit photos from the camera directly in the app and to be able to create custom LUTs that you can then share between the camera app and the camera itself. If all camera brands can try and make this process as integrated as possible, like with the Lumix Lab app, then I think you'll see more and more casual photographers wanting to use a dedicated camera if the process for getting it onto your phone is as simple as possible. Another day, another failed app connection, and the Wi-Fi's gone. Maybe, no. I'm not going to get a Lumix. I could, no.